I'm Ethan Erickson, and today I'm going to be explaining rank choice voting and how it works, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And also why it's a good idea, but yeah, so rank choice voting differs from regular voting. In regular voting, basically what happens is you just cast a vote for the candidate you most want to win, and then you're done. In ranked choice voting, on the other hand, you rank the candidates by the order that you want them to win, basically. So, if your first choice is the person you most want to win, second choice is, well, if they're not going to win, I want this person to win. Well, and the third choice is, if the second choice isn't going to win, you want this person to win, and so on. And so an example of what that would look like is, say, we're going to represent you picking that person for that preference level as an X. So you want Sally to win. And if Sally's not going to win, you want Harambe to win. If Harambe's not going to win, you want Tim to win. If Tim's not going to win, well, you want Bob to win. If Bob's not going to win, you want Jesse to win. If Jesse's not going to win, you want James to win. And so you can rank order them all, or another thing you can do is just decide not to rank some of the candidates. In fact, you can just say, nope, I'm voting for Sally. I'm not gonna rank anyone else. And one thing you're not allowed to do is rank two candidates the same preference level. That doesn't work. And so that's basically how you do the regular voting. That's what you would do when you go into the election. Now, how it works when the vote is being tallied is also important. So ranked choice voting, you'd actually, unlike other forms of voting, you don't just go with who got the most votes on when you first look at things. Instead, what you do is the candidate, in order to win, must get 50% plus one of the vote. And as you can see right here, their vote totals add up to 100, and none of them have 51, which is what would be required to win. So how are any of these candidates going to win, you might ask? Well, that's where the ranking comes in. So as you can see, Tim got the least amount of votes. Well, that sucks for Tim. And so Tim is going to be eliminated. His votes are going to be spread to the second preference that the Tim voters had. And in this instance, 3 of them went to Harambe and 2 of them went to Sally. And everyone else just stayed the same. Now we look and see, well, now no one's reached 51, and Jesse has the least amount of votes. So Jesse is going to get eliminated, and her votes are going to spread 4 of them to James, let's say. And then we're going to say the rest went to Harambe. Bob stays the same, and Sally stays the same. Oh, and now we see Bob. No one's reached 51, and Bob has the least amount of votes. So Bob's votes are getting split, and looks like Bob voters split everything evenly. So we end up with each remaining candidate getting 5, and now James is getting eliminated because no one's reached 51, and James has the least amount of votes, and we're going to say this was the final total. And so you see that Harambe has actually beaten Sally, even though Sally had more votes than Harambe in the beginning. Harambe only had 2/3 the votes of Sally, but Harambe was able to actually get the majority of votes in the end when the ranking was finished. And so Harambe would actually win the seat up for grabs in this instance. So that's how ranked choice voting, like selecting who you're voting for, and then how the calculation of the voting is done. And one of the reasons why ranked choice voting is actually a good thing is because, well, we often see that you can't vote for X because if you vote for X, then Y will win, and so instead vote for B. So this actually covers for that, because let's say you were actually going to vote for X, then you actually would be able to vote for X without risking Y winning, because let's say you just rank things X, B, Y. And so if X, the candidate you really wanted, but people keep telling you doesn't have a chance of winning, isn't going to win, like they were claiming, then you're not actually undermining the other candidate uh, you have more in alignment with, because then your vote would get split over to B. And so what this does is it basically allows people to stick with the choices they would rather have, rather than trying to play sort of election games where, well, I would like to vote for this candidate, but I don't think they're going to win. And I think if I do vote for this candidate, the person I really don't like is going to win. So instead, I'm going to pick the option I don't actually like as much. Well, in ranked choice voting, unlike ordinary voting, you can still just say, okay, yeah, I want this guy to win, but he's probably not going to win anyways, but I don't need to do the calculus, because even if he doesn't, like, even if I vote for this guy, I'm not throwing a victory to the other guy, because hey, now this guy, now that this guy hasn't won, my votes are going to go to the second candidate I picked, which will probably be the guy people are telling you to vote for. Because if you don't vote for him, the other guy's gonna win. That sort of stuff. And so, like, even if you're, like, you'll probably see in ranked choice voting higher turnout for third parties. Like, the initial vote for third parties would be higher than in standard voting, but you might also see that the third party also just gets eliminated in the process. But even if they were eliminated, people would actually say, like, see, oh, well, this person did actually have quite a bit of support, and like all that support that was given to them doesn't necessarily end up hurting the second best option, or the better of two evils, if you will. Yeah, so that's basically ranked choice voting and why it's pretty good.